Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show with your hosts Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Brought to you in full color and stereo sound with amplification provided by Trainer. Broadcasting into the world from Storyhouse Studios in Campbellford, Ontario, you'll hear the best of old country, folk, Americana, punk rock, and 80s music delivered into your homes every week for free. And don't forget your regular dose of new and original songs from Music for Goats. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again, 8 p.m. Eastern and 9:30 for those of you in Newfoundland. Join the Whiskey Wednesday regulars on Facebook to be a part of the conversation, or watch on YouTube as well. Pour a drink, a cup of tea, or a nice cold long tooth. Roll up your best smoke and sit back and relax. Don't forget to hit the share button to help spread the word. The Whiskey Wednesday Show, every week. Cheers. We are live. It is Wednesday night. Welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ken Tizzard. We are Music for Goats. And we are here on time tonight. Last week, man, we had the technical ghoulies in here, the ghost in the machine, as people refer to it. We had the ghost in a couple machines. We ended up trying a bunch of different things. We had to bounce over to YouTube. For those of you who followed us over there for the brief sort of show, it was still 50 minutes or whatever. But yeah, my brain was having a hard time changing gears for that one. Anyways, we did some work. We got things back on track. We got all the cameras balanced. Everybody's here. We are all balanced. Our highs are all perfectly curated. I got a lot of crap for saying that one last week. Talking about perfectly curating my high. Anyways, that's all good. Wow, it's been a great week. Last weekend, West Bend had Lennie Gallant playing there on the Friday night, which was an amazing concert. He entertained the hell out of a barn full of people. And it was a brilliant night, and I got to spend a little time with him, and we had a sit down and a little chat, and he played he played a song for me, and I got a song from West Bend, so we're going to get into that tonight. Mr. Lennie Gallant, we're really excited to have him on the show. Super nice guy. And yeah, you know, before we know it, here it is, Wednesday again, and here we go once again. How you feeling tonight, Mr. Grant?
I'm just great.
Groovy?
You bet.
Excellent. David? Fantastic. Neil?
Yeah, I'm absolutely elegant.
Absolutely elegant, but your mic is a little far away from you, maybe.
Well,
oh,
that's
no,
because I was looking at you and talking.
Right.
I
I
should
know.
have been looking over here and ignoring you.
Yeah, that works. How is that different than when we're not on camera?
It isn't.
Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show. This is a song called Fare Thee Well. Goes like this. Fare thee well, fare thee well. I'll see you again in heaven, or I might see you in hell. If there's nothing more when this life is through, let it stand that I've enjoyed my time with you. On golden shores we'll hold each other once again, or in the depths of hell we'll suffer through the walls of men. If there's nothing more, then I'll say it once again. You made my life as full and bright as any man. Don't shed no tears, don't cry no more. May you find the joy in living life as you did before. Some things will change, some will stay the same, and like a shoebox filled with letters I'll remain. Please live your life each day and know that I'll be here. Don't you surrender to sadness and your tears. We'll meet again in a place we don't yet understand, where the music's always happy like a New Orleans jazz band. one last kiss before we part. Let me hold you close and feel the beating of your heart. Just one last kiss on a night so blue. I can't bear to spend another minute losing you. May your heart grow bright and you stay safe and warm inside. May these four walls protect you from the winter winds outside. When you lay your head down and it's tight and dark between your sheets, and you close your eyes and dream of a place where we might meet. Fare thee well, fare thee well. I'll see you again in heaven, or I might see you in hell. 2, 3. On golden shores we'll hold each other once again, or in the depths of hell we'll suffer through the wars of men. If there's nothing more, then I'll say it once again. You made my life as full and bright as any man. Babe, you made my life as full and bright as any man. You made my life as full and bright as any man. Oh, fare thee well. Send that out to Joey and Ellie Kelly tonight. As always, it's a song that I wrote for them years ago during a period of my life when they were both still around, and that song will forever be dedicated to them. That's off the No Dark, No Light album, if anybody is curious. So tonight, in honor of having the East Coast singer, groovy sort of king of PEI, we figured we'd balance out that with some of our Ron tunes. So we're gonna play some stuff tonight we haven't played in a while. Barry, is it my eye, or is that camera that's on Mr. Grant like sort of falling over? Or is that just my? It might just be fine, but it looks to me like
that's good.
Yeah. But it's so strange. It's the power of duct tape. Mm-hmm. The power of duct tape. Who'd have thunk it? Oh my! So if you're watching tonight on Facebook and you got over to YouTube last week, thanks for coming over. But if you do, like if you're watching on a computer and you've got the capability to open another browser and put it on YouTube as well, hit the mute there and then watch it over on Facebook if you really like to. But the YouTube thing is it's a different sort of thing when more people are there. It's a weird algorithm they've got going, so it's nice to have some watchers over on that platform on the live show. That's where. YouTube is where everything happens for the rest of the week, but it'd be nice to get some live stuff over there. However, wherever you are, we're grateful to have you here. And let's see who's here on Facebook before we get into a little bit of 1962. Hey, Barry, Deb, Jeannie, Tony, Betty George, Jordan. We've got the crowd here. Excellent. Nice to see you all. We are going to do a little Ron tune now that we haven't done in a while. Just played it tonight and it sounded real nice, so I'm going to give it a try. This will be Dave's first time doing this one. For those of you
no pressure.
Those of you who haven't been here for a while, Dave's been sitting and playing drums with us and doing a just fantastic job. I dreamed it was 1962. I dropped a quarter in the jukebox and I played a song for you. I kissed you by the pinball king. We were listening to Del Shannon sing. I had all his records. He was my favorite thing. It's all gone. It's all gone, won't come back again. I woke and I put on my father's shoes. I stood out on the front porch like he used to do. Stepped across the morning sands. The skyline only showed a sign of rain. Mine would be the only footprints that remain. And that's all gone, won't come back again. That's all gone, won't come back again. There was something I meant to say. Too many words got in the way. And I dreamed that it was 1962. I lit a fire on the beach and I lay in the sand with you. We'd sing songs until the rains would come. Straight across the fields we would run. You wrapped your sweater around my first guitar. I walked you home. That's all gone, won't come back again. That's all gone, won't come back again. There was something I meant to say. Too many words got in the way. Then I dreamed that it was 1962. I dropped a quarter in the jukebox and I played a song for you. I kissed you by the pinball king. We were listening to Del Shannon sing. I had all his records, he was my favorite then. And that's all gone, won't come back again. That's all gone, won't come back again. Hey, 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 Ah, nicely done, everybody. Oh, and Dave remembered to turn on the red light behind him. Fantastic. That's awesome, because I forgot about it. I was just thinking, oh, Allison's going to be mad I didn't get the red light turned on. I looked over, and there it was. Did she send you a reminder?
No.
No? Oh, my goodness.
I did it myself this week. All by myself.
Oh, my, what a ton of fun we have here. I guess with 1962 being out of the way, this would be a good chance to take a peek in on the first part of the Lennie Gallant interview. This I was at the West Bend show and just dropped my phone down and captured a little video of the live show, which is quite fantastic. And then there's the interview, and then he came by the house and he's played a very special song. It's called "Saying Goodbye to Ron" right here in the studio. So we'll get to that in the second part. But ladies and gentlemen, meet my friend and hopefully a musician that you are a fan of or will become a fan of, Mr. Lennie Gallant. Barry, thank you.
Okay, I'm scared now. Okay, tell me a ghost story. I'm gonna call on you. I'm gonna call on you. All right, here we go. Tell me a ghost story tonight, my darling. The one about a lover lost at sea. You know the one I mean, where she goes crazy when he keeps showing up in every dream. Tell me a story that will chill my mind. Tell me a tale to make my skin crawl back. Something to take my mind off what I'm thinking. Something to save me from Must be some way to make this ending easy. Must be some way to bring the hero home. A twist of narrative no one sees coming. A blend of mystery and magic bone. I need to hear you play it right now, darling. While everything is smashed inside your head, and every smell still makes you with love. Tell me especially the parts I dread. I thought I heard a scream, I thought I heard a shot. The rain was crying foul with the warning on your car. I thought I saw you run the moon up the other way. Now you see your hair is wet, your eyes are red. And I am dying. I thought I heard a scream, I thought I heard a shot. The rain was crying out. I thought I saw you run the moon right the other way. Now you sit, your hair is wet, your eyes are red, and I am dying.
What have you done?
Tell me a ghost story tonight, my darling. The one about a lover lost at sea. You know the one I mean, when she goes crazy. When he keeps showing up in every dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Whiskey Wednesday show. Tonight I'm sitting here with, well, it's actually Saturday morning. Early Saturday morning. Mr. Lennie Gallant played at West Bend last night here in town, and it was a spectacular show.
Oh, thank you.
Lennie, for those of you who know him, of course you know him, and for those of you who don't, Lennie Coast is a East Coast songwriter. You've all heard me talking about Ron Hynes every show, of course. You're kind of the PEI, Ron Hynes, for lack of a better word. You're the king of songwriters out that way, eh?
Oh, well, I take that as a great compliment. Ron, as you know, was a good friend of mine, and I was a good friend of his, and we hung out and played together a number of times, and yeah. So, yeah.
There's a lot of similarities in your narrative storytelling. Where do you pull that inspiration from, or what did you pull that inspiration from when you were learning to write?
I don't know, I do remember I got my first guitar, I was 13, and immediately wanted to start writing songs. Before I even know 3 chords on it, I think I started writing songs, and I don't really know why, except that my uncle was a big fan of singer-songwriters. He used to have a record collection in his bedroom, and I'd go up to my grandma's house after school and get into his collection and play these albums, these LPs. But my mom was pretty creative. My mom was, I think she had aspirations to be a writer. And when anyone needed anything written in the community, whether it was a celebration or a death of someone and they needed something written, it was always my mom people would go to. They were really they had a really fun little gang. My parents, they hung out with about 6 or 8 people all the time, and they put together these shows, the skits and comedy things that my mom would write. And they go around to all these. They were the original small hall festival. Go around to all these small halls, do concerts to raise money for somebody who might need help in some way. And as soon as I knew 3 chords on the guitar, I was enlisted.
You were part of it. Yeah.
I was part of the show. So yeah.
Wow. So you come by it honestly. The family tradition lives on, so to speak. From your uncle's LP collection through your mom's art.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, Mom and Dad weren't terribly musical, although Mom played. She was a pretty good piano player for just sing-alongs and stuff like that. You know.
Now, last time I saw you was at the ECMA Awards. I'm thinking it was 6 or 8 years ago, and you were I think you were just on your first launch of the theater show.
Searching for Abigail.
Searching for Abigail.
Yeah.
And that was a combination of your music with your sister's artwork?
My sister is a fabulous artist, super well known, especially on Prince Edward Island. Her work sells like crazy, and she's been lauded in many different ways. But if you want to check her out, KarenGallant.com. And I love her dearly, and I put together a show in collaboration with the Confederation Center. It was just all my songs and stories based on PEI that had anything to do with PEI or islands in general. And I thought it was supposed to run for one summer. And I was worried because it was like 65 shows in one summer. And I was like, oh my God, who's going to come to 65 shows? That's crazy. And I literally would have sleepless nights thinking this is the stupidest thing I've ever done, you know. But they all sold out. It was crazy. And then it went on for 6 more summers. And we did a couple hundred shows.
A couple hundred shows from a...
It was great. We had a giant screen in behind myself and the band, and we showcased a couple of hundred of my sister's artwork, and the camera would move within the painting, you know,
nice.
during the songs, and yeah, it seemed to really touch a chord. Abigail is the original Mi'kmaq name for Prince Edward Island, and it means something like cradle on the waves or something like that.
Very
and we
cool.
had my friend Mi'kmaq singer Hebert Francis performed a couple of songs with us in the show. It was
Wow. Wow. What a great little gift to come out sort of midway, you know, through this career of making albums and being a traveling troubadour to suddenly settle roots in your home province and become like a national institution for PEI for a couple summers. Well, you know, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that
thanks.
one. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. The album, by the way, we did a live album, and you can hear it on Spotify. It's a double album of all the songs. None of the stories are there, but all the songs are there.
Was there any video of it? Is there any intention of releasing a DVD?
I want to do that, and we did film bits and pieces of it. It's a long story as to why we didn't do a proper one, but I think I have enough now to piece together a proper video.
That'd be very cool.
And you can see bits and pieces of it on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Lennie Gallant Facebook.
Excellent. And aside from touring and doing all the songs on your own, from what I understand on the show last night, you have is she your fiance, Patricia?
Yeah.
The new lady in your life, I guess. And you guys have a French duo that you played a couple songs last night, and they blew me away. I was not expecting that. She sings wonderfully, and her sense of, as she plays percussion too, and her sense of timing is incredible.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this French project and what it is.
Well, I'm of Acadian descent, and I'm primarily writing songs in English, but I decided I didn't speak any French until I was around 20, but I hung out with a lot of Acadians who still had the language, and I decided I want to try to get it back, and I was kind of using songs to do so, because I ended up, it was kind of funny, I ended up sitting next to Donald Tarleton at an event, a music event, during the Junos. And I think he thought I spoke French better than I did. He knew I had an Acadian background. He said, we should make a French album together. And I said, yeah, let's do that. And I thought, oh my God, I don't. So then I worked on my first French record to make, that's Donald Tarleton, that's Donald K. Donald, for those of you who don't know. So I worked on my first French record. I worked so hard on that album. I must have rewrote every song like 6 or 7 times. And I employed my uncle who spoke French better, who was a professor of French. And a lot of different people involved in it. But anyway, the album did extremely well, and several of the songs are now kind of Acadian standards. They've been covered by all kinds of people. And then I recorded another French album, but it was always confusing because when Lennie Gallant was going to play, sometimes, well, is he going to sing in French? Is he going to sing in English? It was driving me crazy. So I thought, well, you know what? Patricia Richard, who you mentioned, was in my band at the time, and we ended up falling in love and became a duo in our personal lives. And I said, let's do a French duo. And when we do the French duo, it's a French show, and Lennie Gallant is an English show. So we created this duo called Sirène et Matelot, the siren and the sailor. And we put out an album, and it's done really well. And we just finished our second album, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's people are going to really like it.
It's fantastic, and there's I know some artists that have done French albums, and there's an amazingly huge French Canadian population that we often don't think about, especially in the English world.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of these musicians find that putting out a French record really connects with a lot of people that aren't getting as much music as you'd hear on the radio, so to speak.
Well, the fun thing about putting out a French record is they'll actually play it on the radio. And as you know, with English albums, it's crazy. I'll go do an interview with a commercial radio station. We'll talk for half an hour, and then I'll say, well, what song do you want to play? Oh, we can't play a song. What do you mean? It's just, we're not allowed to play any other music other than what they tell us from down somewhere in the States. And that's insane. You can talk to me for half an hour, but you can't play my song. That's crazy in English. Yeah. But in French, sure, they'll play it.
Probably a lower content competition too, right? There is that, and there is the French component. And CanCon has a lot of regulations, so doing a French Canadian record is you've got to have a bit of a wider margin there than if you're competing with every artist in Canada who's got a desktop computer and putting out a record right now.
Yeah, perhaps.
But the music is fantastic. I mean, I'm not saying you're getting played because it's French. I mean, what I heard last night, and I don't speak French. I mean, I understand a few words, but there was that one song you did that sort of started with more of a spoken word type thing than
right.
And I immediately just got back. A friend of mine had introduced me to Jacques Brel years ago, and immediately went, "Oh, there's that French sailor voice!" Like,
right on.
So beautiful. I really, really loved what the two of you did.
Merci beaucoup.
There you go. And also, recently you've hooked up with somebody who I'm assuming is one of your idols. I know that I wouldn't know how to deal with that, but Mr. Jimmy Buffett has reached out to you. He has covered one of your tunes, right?
Yeah, about 10 or 12 years ago, I got a call from his people, and they said that he wanted to record one of my songs. And apparently a friend of mine was from PEI ended up being a cook on his boat and was playing my music in the galley, and he heard it and was taken by it, and the next thing I know, he's recording one of my songs, and that's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. And now he's reached out and sort of asked you for a favor, right?
Yeah, well, back then we got together. We actually performed together in Toronto on stage singing that song, and then I never heard from him for quite a while. He's an interesting man. Like, it's a lot of conversation, and then kind of off the map. And I said, well, that was a fun ride. It was great. And just about a year ago, I got a phone call. It was kind of funny too. It was noisy. The guy was cutting grass next door, and I could hardly hear. And this very strange area code came up, and I took the call. And this guy said, I thought he said, "Hey, Lennie, it's Jimmy Doucette." I thought he said, and he starts talking about how we should write a song together. And I'm thinking, Jimmy Doucette. My brain is racing like, who's Jimmy Doucette? And he's talking like he knows me, and I must know him, but I can't place it. And it was noisy, and I couldn't recognize the voice like as much as I should. And he's discussing writing a song, and I'm saying, well, I'm kind of busy right now. I don't know if I can make it work. And we're going on tour in Alberta. Yeah, I saw your website. Yeah, I know you're busy. Anyway, I got this idea for a song, and I'm kind of almost blowing him off, and I'm and this conversation's going on, but in a nice way, I wasn't. Thank God I wasn't being nasty or anything. I was just saying, I don't think I have the time, man. And then he says something about it. Yeah, well, taking the seaplane up, and I was like, seaplane. I said, oh my God, it's Jimmy Buffett. And then I went, well, and I started to say something. Anyway, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Click, and he hung up. And I thought, I think I just blew off Jimmy Buffett, and I was texted him back, but he's notorious for not answering texts right away, and I never heard. And then I thought, well, I guess I screwed that up. So about 4 months later, I get a text, and it's a text to Paul Brady. You know Paul Brady, the writer.
Yeah.
In Ireland.
Know the name.
Yeah, he's a fantastic songwriter in Ireland. Written songs for everybody from Bonnie Raitt to whoever, and he's been in all kinds of Irish iconic bands. Anyway, he's texting Paul Brady and CCing me on it. And he's saying, hey, Paul, Lennie Gallant and I are writing a song. You want to get in on it? And I'm like, okay, all right, it's happening. And so I ended up co-writing the song with a couple of writers. Paul wasn't on it, though. He had hurt his hand, so he's not on it. But it's a song that has a lot of East Coast reference, and I think people are going to be blown away by it. It's a fun song. And then he has a place in St. Bart's in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of funny because I have a history in St. Bart's because quite a number of years ago, my friend Tom has a 47-foot wooden-built schooner out of Lunenburg.
Oh, wow.
And he used to be interviewed. Remember Peter Zowski?
Yeah.
He used to be interviewed by Peter Zowski about his trips because he would sail this schooner south every year, and then he would charter it down there and have all kinds of adventures. I did not know Tom, even though we bear the same name. We're like brothers now, but then I didn't know him at all. And I would listen on the radio, and I was sitting in my little kitchen in Halifax, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get on that boat. I don't know anything about sailing. Never sailed before in my life, but I'm going to get on that boat. And so I saw him at a folk festival because he's a songwriter too, and a good songwriter. You should check out his music. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I said, I want to see your boat. So I went down there with a bottle of rum thinking I'll get him drunk enough that he'll take me sailing, so I know zip about sailing. And he pulled out a bottle of rum thinking I'll get this guy drunk because, he doesn't know how scared he should be about sailing the North Atlantic in the month of November. And
Exactly.
we had a meeting in the mines, and I ended up doing that trip twice with him, and it was pretty wild. It was North Atlantic in November is no picnic.
No.
We broke a mast in one storm, and we were surfing down 40-foot walls of water in another one. It was crazy. But just 3 of us sailed the boat south twice, and we ended up in St. Bart's, and back before it became the hot spot it is now, and hung out there. So I knew all the landmarks, of St. Bart's, and so Jimmy and I could talk about that, and he said, well, he had become friends with Johnny Hallyday. I don't know if you know who Johnny Hallyday was, but Johnny Hallyday, he was a massive star in France. He was like the Elvis of France. And in many ways, he was the mirror image of Jimmy Buffett's career. In France, he was like super well known, but the English world didn't know him.
Right.
And vice versa with Jimmy Buffett in France, right? But Jimmy and him became super good friends in St. Bart's, and then he passed, and Jimmy wanted to write a song about him. And because I knew St. Bart's and everything else, and so he asked me to help. And so we ended up writing a song about Johnny Hallyday, which I really like as well, and it's going to be on his new album.
Wow, that's working with an idol like that. That's
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. Man.
And how is it working in the machine of Jimmy Buffett? I mean, is everything taken care of? It's a well polished running machine, or is he kind of one of those more artistic, sort of flaky guys where it's all just kind of happens organically? Or
well, he's got Mac McAnally running the music ship, I think, and he was producing it, and he's the album. I've heard the whole album, and it's stellar.
It's stellar, yeah.
And he's got a song on there with Paul McCartney, and he calls me up and says, yeah, well, I was having dinner with Paul McCartney the other night, and we ended up writing this song about gummies. I'm like, shit, it's a fun song, man. I'm thinking Paul McCartney. And so, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad that Allison reached out to me before we got to the interview, and that the internet glitch was. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but we seem to be having some restream issues last week and this week again. I'm going to have some words with somebody tomorrow, but for tonight I'm not going to let it get to me because the Lennie interview was great, and I managed to get it back up and going. I hope you all found your way back here. And for those of you who didn't, it'll be all available tomorrow. In the meantime, well, not in the meantime, right now, we're back. We're going to play some more tunes. We're going to play a little Judgment, eh? We're going to play Judgment a long time.
A whole world of judgment.
Whole world of Judgment.
On you now. Yep.
Yes, for sure. Hope everybody's doing well out there. I got a whole world of judgment on me now. I am cursed and cold, a craven coward. Of this I will avow. Well, I treasure my notoriety. I'm the man no man wants to see. Still, it's better to be famous for the wrong I've done tonight than to be nobody all my life. I did it all for fortune and for fame. Now I'm the man. I shot and I killed Jesse James. Everybody knows me now for sure. Every meal's a feast, every empress is a whore. And it's better to be famous for the wrong I've done tonight than to be nobody all my life. I see his face forever in my dreams. I see me shoot him with a gun. It was a gift from him to me, and I did it all for fortune and for fame. Now I'm the man. I shot and I killed Jesse James. Everybody knows me now for sure. Every meal's a feast, every empress is a whore, and it's better to be famous for the wrong I've done tonight than to be nobody all my I see his face forever in my dreams. I see me shoot him with a gun. It was a gift from him to me, and I got a whole world of judgment on me now. I am cursed and cold, a craven coward. Of this I will avow. I treasure my notoriety. I'm the man no man wants to see. Still, it's better to be famous for the wrong I've done tonight than to be nobody all my life. Nobody all my life. I did it so I wouldn't be nobody all my life. Oh, a little judgment for y'all. We've got the new promo video out, which I'm going to drop up again, and I'll put the link out and stuff. If you guys could share it on Facebook, that'd be cool. But I quite like this one. Let's check it out there, Barry. Hey, folks, tune in Wednesdays at 8 for the Whiskey Wednesday show with your host, Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, or you can always visit the archives at www.kentizzard.com. Songs and stories every week with a good dose of guests, including musicians, artists, writers, and much more. And let's not forget about the Whiskey Wednesday wrap-up magazine, which usually comes in about 100 pages a month. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again. Drop in and pour your favorite drink, a cup of tea, or roll up your favorite smoke. For those of you who like podcasts over live streams, we at the Whiskey Wednesday show have thought of that as well. Original music plus covers from George Jones, Bob Dylan, and Townes Van Zandt through to The Clash, The Pixies, and The Cure. We have everything for your listening pleasure. Thanks for watching, and see you at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Whiskey Wednesday show. New ads. They're fun. I like doing this video editing stuff, you know. It's a bit of fun. What key are we doing this in? We're doing this like way up in C sharp, right? C sharp minor or D?
C sharp.
C sharp minor, cool. We're shooting a video this Friday night. Not going to get into the details of it, but it's for Pain-Free Living, which went out to be mixed today. It's gone out to Noah. You all met Noah Mintz, the mastering master. And yeah, the single went out for mastering today. You'll understand what I'm saying, and I'll tell you now. I've been on the fence with a decision that I've made. And I think the band has been on the fence with the decision that I've made. And Allison's been very supportive. She says, stick to what feels right. You know, there's a reason for it. And you'll recognize what I'm talking about when you hear the single for the first time. It's pretty interesting. It's way outside the Ken Tizzard dark song mode. I'm sure you already know the song, but when you hear the recording, it should be interesting. I'm curious to hear your feedback first. In the meantime, here's a little Ramones for you. Under the arc of weather-stained boards, ancient goblins and warlords come out of the ground, not making a sound. The smell of death is all around. And at night, when the cold wind blows, no one cares, nobody knows. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. Tonight. It's just like in my head while I'm playing that song, I'm really enjoying it. I'm thinking, I love this Ramones tune. It's a great one. It's just so different than the rest of the Ramones catalog and blah, blah, blah. And then the other side of my brain is having a conversation with the person from Restream tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Saying I'm paying way too much money and we put way too much energy into producing the show to have, the 70 minutes a night that you need to do your thing not work. Right. There's too much that goes into everything we do here. And then you think about, sort of Lennie Gallant, he's in town, he's a pretty massive artist for him to take the time to come on the show, because we do spend a lot of time on it. And and then I don't even know if Lenny's traveling back to the East Coast right now. He might not be watching, and that's okay if he is or isn't. But it's you put so much into this, and then again, this company is Restream. I've been recommending them for a long time, and they have been great. But yeah, it's just weird. Last week when I spoke to them about this, they told me what to do, and I tested it today according to all their stuff, and we had the same problem. So short tomorrow, they'll be totally polite to me on the phone, but I was having that conversation. So I'm holding it together here, folks. I am holding it together. I'm doing it for you, and I'm also doing it for me. But most of all, I'm doing it for these guys, and also for Lenny. And right now we're going to watch part 2 of the Lenny video, which I'm so happy to present to you. The song that he plays at the end of this is a song called Saying Goodbye to Ron, and yeah, anyways, you're going to love this. Lennie Gallant, part 2. And you've been busy this summer, a little bit. You're getting back out. Now you're out today with a trio. I saw you at Westman. That was you and Patricia, and is it Jamie?
No, Patricia's son, Julian.
Julian, sorry.
Yeah.
Patricia's son, Julian, a fantastic piano player.
Yeah, he's an amazing piano player. And it's funny because he's never played in a band before. He's never sung before. And anyone who's seen me play in the last dozen years would know that I had my nephew Jeremy playing with me, and Jeremy's an awesome piano player. Played with me for about a dozen years on piano, and when he left, I thought, how are we ever going to find somebody to fill those shoes, because he's so great. We tried a few piano players out, and it just wasn't working. And I said, well, Julian plays piano, but he's never played anything outside of classical, and I'll give him a shot. And he blew me away. I couldn't believe how well he filled the role, and yeah, he's every bit as good as Jeremy, but in a different way.
Yeah, his skill as an accompanist, and being an accompanist doesn't mean that you know how to play your instrument well. It means you know how to listen. Yeah. And he did that so well last night. He's younger. I'm not sure how old.
He's only 20. Yeah.
He's only 20. Yeah. But the smile on his face through the whole evening, he's loving it.
Yeah,
he's really enjoying what he's doing.
He's so much fun to have on stage, and Patricia's son, so it kind of and it blends really well.
And the family band thing is, it's the best of all worlds, right?
Yeah, we're having a blast.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So thanks for coming by and taking the time to chat with us. Is there anything that we missed? You got anything coming up that you want to talk about, or anything that's been happening recently that's sort of...
Well, like I said, got these albums coming out, some new videos coming out, and we just released a video. I should talk about that.
For Sequoia.
No.
Oh no, that's an older one. Sorry,
that's Sequoia's from Time Travel. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
Video about Sequoia and trees and the environment, and
it's a wonderfully shot video.
We filmed that down in the Sierra Nevada just before COVID hit. We went down there, Patricia and I, and it was amazing. Nothing quite prepared me for singing that song among those elders of the planet at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was very emotional. It actually took me a bunch of tries just to get through it. I was so moved to be in the forest singing that song. So that's on YouTube. But the more recent one is a song that I wrote for a woman who's become a good friend of ours. Her name is Kirsten Newshafer.
Okay.
And she's from South Africa. She's an amazing adventurer sailor. And she has done all kinds of crazy things, like bicycled all the way from Portugal to South Africa all by herself through Africa. But she decided she wanted to sail around the world in this amazing race called the Golden Globe Race. It's one sailor in a small boat all the way around the world. Once you leave port, you can't touch land. Once you can't resupply, you have no communication with the outside world. You have no navigation other than pre-1967, because that's the year of the first race. Wow. And it was crazy. She found a boat in Newfoundland that needed work. She was supposed to go to Maine, but she couldn't make it. It was during COVID. There was all kinds of restrictions. She made it as far as PEI. So she comes to PEI, falls in with a bunch of Acadians mostly, and who, one guy in particular who helped her, spent a year working on her boat, getting it ready. And we became friends while she was there. She used to come to our shows, and we had dinner together a number of times. And then she left PEI a year later, in the month of January. She left PEI, sailed all by herself in January from PEI down to South America, and then across the Atlantic to South Africa to see her family, back up to France where the race starts, before the race started.
Wow.
All by herself. Then the race starts, 16 entrants from all over the world, countries from all over the world. She was the only female, the only woman in this race. And it's a dangerous race. It's a crazy race. A couple of boats sank. Only 3 boats legally finished the race. I say that because a couple of others had damages, had to go to port. Once you touch land, you're out of the race. But she won the thing. It was amazing. And when she was going around Cape Horn, I was you could follow her by satellite every day. We would check in like 3 or 4 times a day, follow her race. We were so excited for her. And she had no idea she was in first place. She had no idea.
They wouldn't know because
because you can't communicate.
Yeah.
Unless it's super, super dangerous, they tell you it was a tornado coming or something, you know. But and she had no idea she was in first place, and she had no idea I wrote a song about her until she got into port after going all the way around the world. She got to port in France. Now, they're nuts about racing in France. They're crazy about sailing. So thousands and thousands of people were there to greet as she came in first place. And when she pulled into the port, they were playing my song, blasting it through the sound system to her. So
And had she heard the song before?
She hadn't heard. She didn't know I wrote a song.
So she pulls into port, winning this world race to a song that you wrote that she's hearing for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So and you can see the song on YouTube. We did a video for it. She's in it, and everybody who helped her on PEI is in it, all singing at the end of the song.
Is the video up now?
It's up now.
It's up already? Okay, great.
It's got like 80,000 views right now.
I'll put the link up to it in the interview as well, Flower. That's great. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of, the boat is called the Minnehaha, which means the laughing waters. So everybody, so at the end of the song, everybody's going, ha, 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 ha. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a story. The boating around the world it seems like like a small thing when you look at all the other things that sort of came together to make that into a moment. At the end. That's
Well, she had to in the race. She had to deviate from her course for a day and a half to go and So she had to go and rescue a guy whose boat suddenly sank. And he was in a tiny little raft, so she goes and rescues him, puts him on a freighter, and still wins the race. She's a hero. She's amazing.
Good fodder for a song. I can't wait to hear that one.
The only woman in the race. I think that's so cool.
That's great. That's great. So you're going to play a song for us today?
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce the song, and then I'll do a quick reset on the mic and the camera, and we'll capture it. But what are you going to play for us?
I think I had to do this song because, like you, I was a good friend of Ron's, and we hung out together and did shows together and stuff. And we always claimed we were going to write a song together. We started one. I hope to finish it at some point. But you have Ron's guitar here.
I have the Ron guitar, and I call it the Ron guitar because he's sitting right there. Yeah. A little bit of his ashes, which I inherited after he passed away, and it's been living in this guitar ever since. And this is the guitar that I recorded the Ron record with, and I've done all the touring with. So yeah,
that blows me away.
It's
because I wrote this song. I went to Ron's funeral in Newfoundland. It was an amazing event. It was.
I know. It was incredible.
It was incredible. All kinds of people got up and spoke about Ron or sang for Ron, and all the Newfoundland dogs outside the church and standing guard, and as you know, that night we all went down to the hotel and everybody sang songs, sang a couple of Ron songs in honor, and then some of us ended up going down to the ship inn after and singing some more stuff. And I ended up stumbling home, I don't know, around 2 o'clock in the morning or something in the hotel, and I wrote this song that night.
Wow.
And it's called Saying Goodbye to Ron, and you got his guitar, man, so I got.
Well, excellent. Well, give me a sec here to reset this, and then we'll hear Saying Goodbye to Ron.
Saying Goodbye to Ron. I've been walking around St. John's tonight like I've been under a spell, 'cause I feel like a part of him is still here, making his last farewell. I can hear his voice all over town, in every shop and bar, in every phone call from away, no matter how near or far. We're saying goodbye to Ron. There's a melody down on George Street, dancing on the wind.
It twists and turns like a candle, fighting with the fog bank rolling in. And everybody's singing, Sonny, don't go away. You took the words right out of my mouth, told me what I meant to say. We're saying goodbye to Ron. They're tearing up the streets all over town, change is rolling in. There's boys on the bay with a tin can begging for a way to feed the mess they're in. There's no love for the fallen when you're all alone and dry, and you'd sell your guitar for a sliver of peace, never mind asking why. We're saying goodbye to Ron. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Sonny, don't go away, we're here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor coming home. Oh, the cabbie glanced in the back seat, 'cause he thought he heard something there. And he drove to the top of Signal Hill like he had a ghost for a fare. And the radio played No Kathleen and the story of my life. And the wind carried Atlantic blue to the lost souls in the night. Oh, sing goodbye to Ron. And everybody's singing, Sonny, don't go away. You took the words right out of my mouth, told me what I meant to say. We're saying goodbye to Ron. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Great to play on this guitar, I can tell you that.
It's special. Thank you so much, and thanks for making sure it's right too. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to the Whiskey Wednesday show. Every Wednesday we will be here, rain or shine, richer or poorer. Tip jar is in the link above. Never expected, but always appreciated. Never confuse the size of your paycheck with the size of your talent. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by midnight. Always appreciated, never expected. Please feel free to drop us a line regarding anything, including a link to your money. Cheers. No matter how much time you have between segments, you always forget to tune. And by you, I mean me. Although I hear Neil tuning away there next to me as well. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone in being irresponsible. Neil's irresponsible too.
Totally, absolutely.
Oh my. Well, saying about Ron, holy crap, man. I talked to a lot of people about Ron songs after he passed, and I still haven't been able to put one together. I've gotten several written that haven't turned into anything. And there's been a bunch written, and they all kind of like, they're driving the nail home. But there's something about just the way that Lennie integrates a few Ron-isms in the songs. And if you really know Ron's singing style, you'll realize there are actual Ron-isms in there. And the way that he interweaves Ron titles of Ron songs, I mean, there's a few obvious ones in there, but he weaves in stuff like Dry in places that you wouldn't even think. It's an amazing piece of work, Lennie. Thank you for writing that song, and thank you so much for coming by here and playing it for me and for everybody here on the show. That was a real treat. It's been a wonderful night here, despite the technical stuff, and I've just moved ahead of that. I hope those who are here, and I hope you're having a good time. I know we are, and we've got some good treats for afterwards. if you're around, Crooks Rapids is coming up. I'm going to be over there playing with the Ireland Brothers. And there might be another date in September, I think, that they need a bass player for. So I don't do much in the way of bass work just because there's no reason. I just don't do much of it. But I've known them for a long time, and they're actually a great band. I kind of know their set just from going to see them. So it's going to be nice playing a little bass with the Island Brothers. Summer's coming to an end. With the 20th century still in bloom, in fair conception, babe. Oh, the world turned round, men were bound, all for the USA, all for the USA. Onto the streets of a New York town, they poured like morning tides to raise the concrete and the steel up to the New York sky, up to the New York sky. Oh, can you read and write? Can you drink and fight? Can you take the nights alone? You can make a life for a child and a wife while you're far away from home, while far away from home. To a Chelsea girl, she'll free you from the cold. She'll lend a tender, loving ear to every story told, to every story told. Well, have you got the hands? Have you got the heart? Have you got the cold steel nerve? You can rant and roar on a New York floor. You'll get what you deserve. You'll get what you deserve. There's them who'll freeze and them who'll fold and crawl home in dismay and curse the hand of God above. They'll break right down and pray. They'll break right down and with the 20th century still in bloom, in fair conception, babe. Oh, the world turned round and men were bound, all for the USA, all for the USA. There you go. There you go. Oh, well, we're coming to the end of another Whiskey Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. And there's something I need to talk to you about, something incredibly important. The Whiskey Wednesday Telethon.
Right.
September 24th is the Sunday, I believe. There will be some advertising happening before that, so you will get the correct date, but I'm saying September 24th, which is the Sunday. We're doing a 12-hour broadcast. We're going to have segments. We're going to have special guests. We're going to have all kinds of things.
So you mean like 12 hours in a row where you're not going to change your shirt? Hard to believe.
Well, 12 days.
I know. That was sarcasm. I
was just looking at the Lennie video going, Lennie was here Saturday morning. It's Wednesday. Same shirt. Anyways, yeah, we are having a telethon. It'll all be explained coming up. Little things that we need to tweak, technical things that we need a little bit of money to help tweak as well. So we're looking at doing that on the 24th of September. It's going to be a lot of fun. Allison's organizing it, so she is in her glee organizing. She went through 600 videos this week to try and find which, videos would be the appropriate ones to play in a 12-hour period. Plus some live stuff and all kinds of other stuff. So anyways, that's coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being with us again on a Wednesday night. We are working hard to, as the show gets higher end, more cameras, more clarity, all that stuff, it increases all kinds of things like bandwidth. I'm still learning. We're still learning. The companies we're working with are still learning. This internet, as much as it is sort of huge and it's covering the world, it is still pretty brand new from the guerrilla standpoint. There is still duct tape in the studio here. Duct tape.
They intertwine.
Mr. Grant's duct tape camera gave way earlier today, but we're all good now. Mr. Grant, that shot of you looks fantastic, by the way. My God, you ever look good there. With the bass looking all huge like that. I love that. That's fantastic. That's a great camera. And Neil, you look pretty good too in blue there, I gotta say. Yeah, you're looking fantastic. And where's David?
Where's Dave? Yeah.
Where's David? Oh, Dave gets
There
there he is. There he is. Dave gets a double Dave, see? Because look, see, he's up in the corner and he's up in the corner.
Side lighting on him, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, okay, good. We're all well represented here. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. This is a brand new song. I'm still learning the words. Please bear with me. This one will be on the new record, which is probably going to be out sooner than we think. And by that I mean I have a tentative schedule of October 16th, so I got to finish mixing this fucking thing. Time to bear down and do it. This is a song called Bar Stools and Broken Hearts to end the night there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning in. And enjoy this tune. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Broken mind and broken body, coming home to find the life and love before the war turned cold and broke down over time. Broke family and broken love, tangled stories made up of the time you were away. Broken soldier's heart replaced. Stop pretending it's the way things go. Don't pretend to be the truth that you all know. It's just bar stools and broken hearts, another night to fall apart. Puzzle pieces in your head, another stranger in your bed. It's just bar stools and broken hearts, another day to fall apart. Face the truth and climb that hill, another prayer on wires. Alone with the truth is the hardest time to kill. Broken job and broken dreams, a little too old it seems. The life you thought you'd have is nothing more than illusion now it seems. Broken wallet and broken heart, it puts you in your place. The whiskey, drugs and cigarettes are filling up that empty space. Stop pretending it's the way things go. Don't pretend to be the lies that you all know. It's just bar stools and broken hearts, another night to fall apart. Puzzle pieces in your head, another stranger in your bed. It's just bar stools and broken hearts, another day to fall apart. Puzzle pieces in your head, another stranger in your bed. Along with the truth is the hardest time to kill. Promises, broken truth. The radio plays songs from our youth, the bands that we all loved. Twisted words we sang like morning doves. Broken words and broken people trying to get ahead. The people and all that we all live, for all intents get left for dead. Stop pretending it's a war outside. Don't pretend Another day, another start to face the wall and climb that hill. Another prayer of mine, it's just bar stools and broken hearts. Another day, another start to face the wall and climb that hill. Another prayer of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of another Whiskey Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as I'm looking over at Barry, as he's turning more and more red, I see that the on-air cache thing is full again, which means that we're having the same issue. We got through the majority of the show, thank God for that. You know something, again, thank you so much for being with us and being a part of what we do and, you know, being with us through the growing pains of all this stuff. I will edit all this. It's still at least being hard disk recorded, so not that you need to care. Anyways, what am I talking about? Good Lord. Good Lord. Stick to this focus there, ladies and gentlemen. Stick to the show.
After all this time, now you're worried about what you're talking about?
Yeah, I know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it was another great night. We had fun. We played some music. We had a really good time. It was fantastic to have Lennie on the show. What a brilliant thing. I'll be cutting all those videos up and putting them out tomorrow, so please help spread the word on them. And until we see you again, is there something happening this weekend? No, we're shooting the video. But yeah, there's nothing happening. No, we're not anywhere. Okay, take care, be good out there, and remember to be like Steve. Cheers. Once again, thanks for spending another Wednesday with us here at Storyhouse Studios. Thanks to Trainer, Yorkville, and a Longtooth Beverage Company for being a part of the show. We love our time on the Whiskey Wednesday show and appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit up the tip jar if you feel so inclined. Never expected, but always appreciated. Tune in every week for more guests, songs, stories, drinks, and gear talk. And don't forget to visit the website, www.kentizzard.com, to sign up for the Whiskey Wednesday wrap-up. Compiled by Allison, this is a monthly overview with highlights, directories of songs, and so much more. Be kind, be helpful, be happy, be safe. See you next week.